असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Oh, may the divine lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Oh, peace, peace, peace.
July 1885, the day of Rath Yatra, Thakur Sri Ramakrishna came to Bagbajar at Balaram Babu's house. Narendranath was present. He sang many songs in the living room of Balaram Basu. This Rabindra Sangeet was one of them. The meaning of the song is like this. I have made you the polar star of my existence. Never again can I lose my way in voyage of life. Wherever I go, you are there to shower your beneficence all around me. Your face is always present before my mind's eyes. If ever I step the wrong way, your shining face makes me ashamed. You are indeed the North Star of my life.
I'm reading from the book Swami Vireshwarananda, A Divine Life. This reminiscence is by Swami Jayananda. In the second year of my probation at the training center, an awful depression once overtook me. It broke upon my body and mind as a violent tornado, the severity of which is inexpressible in words. I have had occasions to witness many a dreadful natural storm in my life, but in comparison to this severe cyclone within, those were nothing. I was completely undone. One day at noon, I was in deep thought sitting at Raja Maharaj's temple. Suddenly, I felt my torment unbearable anymore and ran to the principal Maharaj of the training center and urged him to make an immediate appointment for me with revered Maharaj. The principal Maharaj assured, after evening vesper, when you shall go to offer your pranams to the President Maharaj, I shall be there. Let me see what I can do. The kind-hearted principal Maharaj, Swami Mumukshanandaji, perhaps understood the poignancy of my torments and arranged a meeting for me with revered Maharaj. Here revered Maharaj is Swami Vireshwarananda. That very evening. That day he saved me from a most lurid disaster. I wrote down the episode for my future retrospection. Dated Tuesday 9 January 1979, 6:45 p.m. Revered Vireshwaranji Maharaj has kindly granted me an exclusive audience in his room. The principal Maharaj of the training center left us after fixing the appointment. I was a little tensed and even scared. After offering my pranams, I sat at a respectable distance from Revered Maharaj. The entrance door to the visiting room from the balcony was closed. When the talk was about to begin, I mustered courage to sit closer to him. No sooner had I begun than an old sannyasi entered to offer his pranams to Maharaj. Revered Maharaj did not at all like an intrusion in his confidential talk with others. When the sannyasi left, I began laying bare my mind in right earnest. Maharaj, what is it? Tell me. Myself. Maharaj, the year before last in April 1977, I had a discussion with you. At that time, you gave me elaborate instructions on spiritual practices that gave me joy and assurance. But since May 1978, a monstrous depression has overtaken me. I fervently prayed to Sri Ramakrishna, and I was a little relieved of that sulky mood for a short time. But now again and again, a terrible feeling of absolute hollowness suddenly overcomes my mind. The dark clouds of doubt keep crowding in my mind with their compelling question, does Thakur indeed listen to my prayers? I don't have any inspiration of joy. I am trying my level best to call him and to taste even a drop of his grace, but nothing is happening. I can't bear it. I can't bear it. My mind is sinking to an abysmal low. Vireshwaranji Maharaj. Maharaj, this is but the mind's, Maharaj says, this is but the mind's nature. Don't trouble yourself about it. Whether Sri Ramakrishna will listen to your prayer or not is his wish alone. You should keep on calling him and never stop that. You simply perform your part and leave the rest to him. If you climb to Mount Kailash, you shall see that you are ascending no doubt, but with quite a few descents on the way. The mind too has its ups and downs, and this is the very nature of mind. To appreciate God's grace, one must have the tenacity of purpose. One must call him incessantly. At the time of going to Kailash, you are hardly able to see the sun at daytime. Probably you may have a glimpse of the sun for a few minutes when you climb from one range to the other. Most of the time the sky is clouded there. Such is also the state of mind in a spiritual odyssey. As you are steadily and earnestly craving for His grace, you are sure to receive it sooner or later. Keep on knocking at His door and pray to Him. I was overwhelmed. My voice was choked and tears welled up in my eyes. I felt a tremor of bliss in my body. I prayed, "Pray, bless me, Maharaj, that this phase of my mind may pass soon and I may taste a little of the boundless grace of Sri Ramakrishna." Maharaj placed his right hand on my head and said, "You have my blessings. Keep on calling Him. Don't trouble yourself with negative thoughts. Everything will ultimately turn in your favor." Yesterday.
A short period of meditation. Good morning, friends. Today is the auspicious day of the date of birth of Swami Kripamayananda Maharaj, direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna and brother disciple of Swami Vivekananda. He was born one day before Saraswati Puja. So Saraswati Puja this year also is actually the Tithi, the lunar calendar date is tomorrow. We are observing today as Saraswati Puja because it is a weekend. And puja will be from 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Swami Kripamayananda was very brave, you know, that how much he served. He was the first to serve Holy Mother, and full care he took of Holy Mother. And sometime when Holy Mother was going to Jairambati and he found Holy Mother was sleeping in the bullock cart and there was a ditch. So he told the bullock cart that was running, the bullock cart driver, to just wait for a minute, and he went there and lay himself on the ditch and let the bullock cart pass through his body. So that Holy Mother doesn't get jolted and her sleep, whatever she was resting, is not disturbed. Somehow Holy Mother woke up before that and said, "What is he doing? What this you should not do." So much was his sacrifice and love for Thakur and Mother. That was Swami Kripamayananda. And he, by Swamiji's inspiration and instruction, he started the Bengali journal, Udbodhan, of the Ramakrishna order, which still continues, longest standing journal in vernacular language in India, Udbodhan, never stopped, more than 100 years old. And it was started, the first editor, seller, mailer, all was Swami Kripamayananda. First he did that. He was sent by Swami Vivekananda to the West, to America, to preach Vedanta. He founded and built the temple in San Francisco. This is called the first Hindu temple in the West, which is all the symbols of different religions, the church, mosque, temple, all stand at that, the symbol at the top of it, at its terrace. So that temple is still standing. When the big earthquake came in San Francisco. Many houses around were all grounded, but that was still standing. So that was built by Swami Kripamayananda, who also led his life in San Francisco. He passed away in San Francisco. We bow down to the holy memory to Swami Kripamayananda and crave for his blessing. And as the son of Saraswati, he started Uddhavan, and he was a quick teacher, and he influenced many people in San Francisco. And we bow down to Mother Saraswati, who is being worshipped today here, to grace us with knowledge of the truth, knowledge of the self. She can grant the knowledge of worldly things, academics, and also she is capable of giving us the knowledge of ultimate reality. Because there are two types of Vidya, and she is Vidya Daini. And Saraswati and Holy Mother in our tradition are same. Sri Ramakrishna said, Holy Mother is Saraswati. She has come to grant us knowledge. And what type of knowledge Holy Mother will give? Definitely it is Paravidya, it is the supreme knowledge. So we give for that, and then we continue with we start with our topic, go forward. We have read in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, many places Sri Ramakrishna says about this story of go forward. Page 109 of the Gospel, dated 5th August 1882. There is, when he is gone to meet Vidyasagar, very renowned person at that time. Vidyasagar welcomed him, and Sri Ramakrishna was not that well known, but Vidyasagar was very well known at that time. But he most respectfully listened to him, and Sri Ramakrishna said, your heart, there is gold hidden in your heart, only it is covered by clay. It needs to be covered, it needs to be uncovered. So Vidyasagar was a very selfless person, very caring person, and he had become very pure in heart by his selfless service to the society and his pure life. So there Sri Ramakrishna says that one woodcutter met a holy man, a sadhu, and sadhu just gave him instruction, go forward. That was the instruction. So what does it mean, woodcutter didn't know. So next day, poor person went to the forest to chop some wood for selling at the fuel. Then he remembered that sadhu saying, go forward. Sadhu said me, go forward. Why am I stuck in this forest cutting wood? Let me go deeper into the forest. So deeper he went. To his surprise, he found that was the forest of sandalwood. Now, he cut the sandalwood, started selling that, much valuable and very pricey than that. So he started earning a lot of money. So he became rich by selling, instead of fuel wood, he started selling sandalwood. Then one day he remembered, sadhu didn't ask me to stop at the sandalwood. He said me, go forward. Let me try deeper. So he went deeper and found there was silver mine. So he unearthed, and he then became still richer. And he said, go forward with the message, not to stop at the silver mine. Let me go forward, go ahead. Then there was the gold mine, and he didn't stop. He went forward. Then the mine of diamonds, mine of precious metals. He became very rich. That is the thing. So he wanted to become rich. He became rich. We also want to be rich. But our wealth is not petty things like gold and silver and diamond. They are petty for us. We want to be rich in the wealth of spirituality, wealth of inner knowledge, wealth of fulfillment. So that message of go forward, Sri Ramakrishna said about the woodcutter, and he gives the example to Vidyasagar, that is just the allegory for us to go forward in our spiritual journey. And he said, if you go forward, you can definitely see God. God is reality, God is achievable, God is realizable, and He can be seen. He can be not only seen, you can talk to God, God will talk to you. That's Sri Ramakrishna was very fond of saying. Not only you can see God, but you can talk with God and you can listen to God, you can converse with God. That much intimacy and reality is God. So there is no stopping, go forward. Doing little japam for 15 minutes we sit and feel nice. So today I had nice japam, my mind was almost concentrated in repeating the name of God, and I could little focus on my Ishta. Don't be satisfied. Go forward. Make more intense. Give more time. And you will find more and greater realization. And that's what the saying of Sri Ramakrishna, that if you go forward, you can see God. You can talk to Him. You can converse Him. It is such a reality that hope Sri Ramakrishna gives. So, let me read from Swami Vivekananda. So, he says, be not afraid. Think not how many times you fail. Never mind. Time is infinite. Go forward. Assert yourself again and again, and light must come. That light is the light of truth, light of knowledge. So, when asserting ourselves as the Atman, we often fail. We often think we see ourselves as the individual being, limited being, and forget that we are infinite Atman. And Swami Vivekananda says, try that, go forward, assert yourself, and you may fail, but you will ultimately realize the truth, that light will come, that illumination will come. Enlightenment is sure if we do attempt, just we need to move on, go ahead. Don't stop at what you are. Try hard and go ahead. Be perfectly hopeless. That's what Swami Vivekananda said. Be perfectly hopeless. That is the highest state. Hope about what? Not that there is no illumination. Hope about thinking of the things of the world. What will happen to me if I think of too much of the world? Don't think of any concern for the world. Don't have any hope and anything that is related to the world and worldliness. Just go forward. Where to go forward? The song said, to the pole star will be guiding you. Beautiful song, very relevant today was sung. The pole star is there to guide you, and you go towards the direction of pole star, be guided by that, and you will reach the goal that you are traveling for. Life is journey. This journey must go forward. What is there to hope for? Burst asunder the hope, the bonds of hope. Stand on yourself. Be at rest. Never mind what you do. Give up all to God, but have no hypocrisy about it. Go forward and do not pay too much attention to the nature of the work you have to do. Ask your mind if you are unselfish. If you are, never mind anything. Nothing can resist you. Plunge in. That is the strong words, inspiring words of Swami Vivekananda. Let me read one more for you. Go on bravely. Never mind about designs and other details at present. With the horse will come the reins. Work unto death. I am with you, and when I am gone, my spirit will work with you. This life comes and goes. Wealth, fame, enjoyments are only of a few days. It is better, far better to die on the field of duty, preaching the truth, than to die like a worldly worm. Advance. So, the main purport of this thing is, truth is achievable, and we need to continue the journey without stopping, without being helpless. The beautiful story of Swami Jayananda, we just heard. When he was in despair, what Swami Vireswaranand told at the end, he said, God will listen to your prayer. Don't stop, and things will be ultimately in your favor. And that is for all of us. Swami Kripamayananda was a great monk of our order, Holy Mother's disciple. And he was so well connected with the people, his letters are like the instruction. And he used to go so deep into the person to whom he was writing. His instructions are so touching to the heart and so elaborately describing about that person. But Sir Kripamayananda forgot about himself and became that person whom he was writing. His letters are amazing. His letters are translated into English in the title of the book, Go Forward. And it was translated by Swami Swahanandaji with another devotee. So in that book, Swami Kripamayananda writes in many places. At one place he said this world is an amazing place, But we don't find the time to discuss these truths, even after hearing about them. But this time, the Supreme Brahman in the form of Sri Ramakrishna has come before us and simplified all these complicated questions. If we form the habit of thinking of him, gradually all our problems will be resolved. The main point is that we must try to become Sri Ramakrishna in essence, Vivekananda in thought, and Mother Sarada in action. What a beautiful words of Premeshananji. Sri Ramakrishna in essence, Swami Vivekananda in thought, and Mother Sarada in action. That we all have to become, that is our goal, that is the place where we have to reach in this journey. Man is a combination of virtues and vices. God dwells within, so we should love whoever comes to us. Let God judge their merits and demerits. The brain is an ancient instrument. Many thoughts gather there, accumulated from the past and combining at will with present thoughts, and ceaselessly resolved within this little circle of the head. That is called vichara, the process of thought. Most people do not understand their problems and the solutions. That is why we toil life after life without reaching the solution, and the solution is the goal. Someone may solve the problem for you today, but tomorrow this Rakta Bija will create 1,000 more problems. Rakta Bija of doubt, Rakta Bija of failure, being despair and failure. This body and mind are born from desire, and they were created for the sake of desire. These desires compels the intellect to reject the highest goal of life and makes us fall from the ideal. It won't do for us to remain idle without any hope. Even after repeated defeats, you must begin the victory march. Defeats again and again, let that not scare you. Gita answers us, go beyond the senses, beyond the mind, beyond the intellect. All will have to wage this battle, the strong and the weak alike. And as we continue this fight, strength comes. Fight with great zeal. Even if you are defeated, your eventual victory is certain. Swami Vivekananda gave that hope. We all are going towards that blessedness, towards that goal, that the state of realization of light beyond darkness, the life beyond death. That is our goal. And we all are moving towards that. Only the thing is, we need to enhance this journey with our effort, like Buddha did in his life. Sri Krishna says in the Gita, fight jahi shatrum mahavaho kamarupam durasadam. There is a fight, there is a struggle in this journey. It's not easy. You will be tired, you will be weary. Don't sit down idle. Don't feel fatigue. Strength will come inside. Jahi shatrum mahavaho. Oh, brave one, conquer the enemy. What is the enemy? Kama rupam durasadam. The enemy in the form of desire. That you conquer. And it is difficult to conquer, but it is conquerable if you do not give up. That is the message of go forward of Sri Ramakrishna, that God is achievable and we can do. When Sri Krishna saw Arjuna saying, oh, I can't fight, my head is reeling, my Gandiva is going away, my hair is standing, I am feeling horripilation, I am afraid, despair, that you saw in the Swami, that was Brahmachari, that was in a bigger scale to that brave person. He is Mahavaho and he is afraid to fight, fearful, deluded. Then Sri Krishna said, Arjuna, you forgot yourself how brave you are. You have conquered so many things. You are a great victorious person, the best archer of this world. And later on he said, among the fighters I am Arjuna. among the Pandavas, I am Arjuna, Sri Krishna says. And he says to Arjuna, Kripamayananda Partha, why this unhumanliness come to you? It should not come. Kripamayananda Partha, naitattvaya apaddate. It doesn't behoove you. It doesn't befit you. You are much more greater than that. Then he says, Tyaktva tishta parantapa. Give up this unmanliness and arise and fight. Oh, you are the scorcher of foes. You forward that. That is the message Sri Krishna says to Arjuna. Go forward. Uttishta parantapa. Arise. Don't sit down on the back of the chariot. Arise. Wield your bow again, Gandiva again, and conquer the enemy outside. Conquer the enemy inside. That outside is just a reflection of inside. Inside we have the enemies. There are 6 alligators through which we have to save ourselves. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, desire, anger, lust, greed, so many things are there. Fight these. These are conquerable. You can conquer, you can become victorious. And every human being is given the strength to conquer these enemies that lurk within us. And it has been possible to even people like Valmiki, who was a robber, all evil deeds, perhaps killing people, robbing the innocent travelers, that was Valmiki. And Narada came and he said, what are you doing? This you should not do. Repeat the name of God. And he said, what name of God? Say Rama. It doesn't come. He was so sinful, so much bad act done, so he couldn't even repeat the name of Rama. Just simple Rama he could not say. Then Narada said, something to be done. Let me try the opposite way. So try Mara. She said, Mara. Yes, I can repeat Mara. Then say, repeat Mara, Mara, Mara. Then Mara, Mara, Rama, Rama, Rama. It becomes Rama, Rama. That was enough. He couldn't repeat Rama first. He said, he started from Mara. That was what Narada did to Valmiki. He said, go forward, Valmiki. There is God. You have to reach Rama. And Rama is reachable even by you who have not done anything good so far. But you are going to do good. You have done all good qualities, divinity hidden in you. All purity is in yourself. That is the very nature of every soul. It is pure, it is powerful, it is blissful. With that hope, Narada knew. And Narada kept that and he transformed through his practice, deep, definite practice. He went there, he sat down and forgot the world. Started a journey in the mind. And deep meditation and so much meditation, unaware of where he was seated, what was going around him, nothing. Slowly he was so immovable, white ants built their house, Valmik. And his body was covered, but he was deep into the journey. He was going forward and forward, deeply meditation, and then finally reached the goal. And from his mouth comes a beautiful verse. From an ignorant robber, he becomes a great poet and seer, and says, it transforms by Narada's blessing and is saying, go forward in the form of mantra, Mara. Mara in Hindi, it means dead. But that becomes Rama, eternal life. Death and life are not different. So from death, if we forget God, we go from death to death. If we remember God, there is no death at all. Mrityosa mrityum apnoti yaiha naneva pashyati. Who see variety alone and can't see one reality that is inside everything, they go from death to death. They travel from death to death. Our goal is to see that one in many, that eternal being which is called the Self or the Brahman. We travel from truth to truth. We are all moving to the source, says Swami Vivekananda in his Jnana Yoga lectures, that we are all moving. No one is traveling from error to truth, from truth to truth, from lower truth to higher truth. Higher truth is that we all are one. There is one reality, but lower truth is seeing variety, thinking ourselves as a small being. That is also truth, but relatively lower truth. And our goal is to travel to and attain the higher truth. When Balaram Basu said, I saw Sri Ramakrishna, but where is the progress? I have not realized God. Swami Vivekananda said, why are you saying that? You were cow, now you have become human being. You will definitely become a devata, you will become a god. Journey continues. Cow, when we are animalistic, only think of ourselves as the body, nothing and self-interest, how to become good, how to earn more money, how to have name and fame, how to be powerful, like that is the animalistic nature. We are cow, we are any beast that time. When we grow to become human being, then we find the concern for others, how to make other person little happy, how to remove other person's little distress. We become human being, connected with all human beings. When we are connected, that is the humanity, that is the human being. And even more, we consider divine. We start seeing God. Where is the connection? Where is the help? Then you start worshipping other people. Through a word you thought, oh, I helped this person, I did little, that person I made happy. You see, everyone is God. Through my words I worship this God. Through my action I worship that God. All gods in various forms in front of me, in the form of human beings, in the form of animals, in the form of stars and planets and sun and the trees and everything is all divine, soaked with divinity. That becomes our transformation to divine divinity. That is our journey from beast to human being to God. And that is possible, say, everyone says. Swami Vivekananda was very particular and said, it is not easy. Shurasya dhara nishita duratya. This spiritual journey is not easy. It is difficult, like the age of the rager, so sharp. So if we fall, if false step and you are bruised, you are injured. But you can go. That energy, that skill, that power is given to you. Just you try. Go ahead. Keep the pole star right on your vision and you reach the goal. That's what they say. So try and go. So Sri Krishna said, Shaknoti haiva yasorum prak sharira vimokshana. Shaknoti haiva, one who can do what he can do. Prak sharira vimokshana kama krodha udbhavam begam. Can you control lust and anger when still you are in body? Sayuktaha sa sukhi nara. If you can do that, you are a yogi and you are a happy person. And that is achievable, that is doable. Shaknoti haivaya sorum prak sharira vimokshana. You have a body, you have not given the body, and yet you are free from lust, full of desires, and also from anger. And Krishna says how these two desires and anger are connected. When desires are not met, there is impediment in desire, then anger comes. When we drive the car, person is standing in front. Then few seconds, 5 seconds, perhaps that person has been started. They start honking. Why this anger? Because your desire was not fulfilled. What was the desire? You wanted that person to leave as soon as there was green light. Why did he stay 5 seconds more? That always, when anger comes, there is desire behind anything. Someone comes and says something to me and something that I don't like. You are not a good person. I become angry. What was that desire? Yes, there was desire. I always expected good word from others, that you should come and say, oh, you are such a great person, you are such a wonderful being. Always we expect that desire we have. Give me kind words, praise me, and say always good about me. When that desire is not met, then anger comes. So, who can control this anger and desire, concentrated, very strong desire, called lust in anything. So one who can do that, he is a happy person, he is a real yogi, says Sri Krishna. And Shaknoti iha eva, one can do that. It is possible to achieve that. That is the goal. Now how to do this? When one knows it is possible, then how to do this? So, as Swami Kripamayananda said, make a journey in a victory march. Victory is definite there. Victory march not after attaining victory, but to attain victory. This victory march is not after you have attained the victory and you are marching. This march is victory march to attain the victory that we do. So that we can do. Victory march we are on. This is the spiritual journey. If we see our own lives, how much we have been brought to this truth, to this light, that there is light on the other side of the tunnel. There is achievable, great thing we can achieve in our life. How much has been given and said to us that we are already put on this victory march. Just we need to go forward on this line. And it's all by the grace of God, or our good karma that we had in the past. Our prarabdha karma is so good that we are brought in that goal of life is not just eating and living and being rich and comfortable living. There is something more needed in life. There is enlightenment needed. There is something needed higher than that. What is the truth about me? Who am I? What is my reality? Is that the ultimate thing of my life? I have some such questions that to be solved in life, and then answer to this question. You are immortal. You are blissful. You are most powerful. Nothing of the world is enough to give you. You have already attained that. Find that. Know yourself. Assert yourself. Know you are the Atman. That is the journey of life, and we are already on that path. So, it says, we are often pulled by gravity. This victory march is to defy gravity, not to be pulled down. You lost something. You are going and you lost your wallet today. I had $200 and my this lost. Crying, you are crying. So sad. I am very sad today. That is the gravity that pulls. Something you lost and you become so sad. Don't be sad. Defy gravity. That's what. $200, something losing, something happening, you lost something, you bought some house and you had to sell in less money. You are sad. Oh, I didn't make profit. That is all gravity's act on you. Defy gravity. Refuse to be sad. That's what it says. How to do that? Only path is the journey in our spiritual life, going forward in the spiritual life. How to do that? Very easy. Just begin praying morning and evening. That we always do. Those who are initiated told by Guru, morning we do japam and evening also do japam. So that is the beginning. Repeat the name of God in the morning and evening. Even if we are not initiated, let us sit in the shrine. Let us try to focus on God, whom we think has all good qualities, and forget about the world and worldly duties and responsibilities and worldliness. Just focus ourselves on the highest blissful being called God, who is in fact our own self, our own soul, that we worship outside as God. Who is Jesus, who is Ramakrishna, who is Shiva, who is Rama. They are different forms of our own soul, our own Atma, that we project outside and worship a God. All perfect beings we consider. So, let us pray them. That is the beginning of our journey. Morning and praying, doing morning and night, doing japam, and also remembering our Ishta always. Those who are fortunate enough to have mantra from their Guru, they have this form of God in the form of word and sound, and that we can remember that doing japam always, morning and night is what the Guru has said minimum, but always try to repeat the name of God. Itself is a journey and itself is a forward movement. How will we be connected to God? Read scriptures. Scriptures are the words of God. And scriptures doesn't mean you have to read all the Vedas and start by Rig Veda and read original Sanskrit or original Quran in Arabic, read that. Nothing that. We have translation, we have the teachings from the great spiritual leaders. Swami Vivekananda, for us, Sri Ramakrishna Gospel is the best scripture which contains all the essence of all the scriptures of the world. You have to read Quran and the Vedas and the Bible and the Granth Sahib, all you find in Sri Ramakrishna presenting in a colloquial, conversational way. That becomes great scripture. But we need to read scripture every day and guided by that. So wonderful words, little reading, then we call mananam. They're thinking of what I read, what is the message, what is the inner meaning of that. For example, woodcutters that go forward. What really Sri Ramakrishna want to say? And the woodcutter became rich. Does he want us to be rich that way? So we have to go deeper in Sri Ramakrishna's parables and stories. Richer, but more richer, the more valuable thing, that is the spiritual wealth to be gained. And it is possible that we to become progress in our journey. Visiting holy places is also very important, like coming to the temples or going to the pilgrimage. Sometimes pilgrimage, you cannot always go, it takes money, it takes time, it takes, you need to vacation, so you cannot always do that. But once you do, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, when you go to pilgrimage, always chew the cud after that. Try to remember how you feel. You feel so nice when you go to Kedarnath, Badrinath, Kailash. So you feel so good after Belur you visit and you come, oh, what a wonderful Mangalarati we went there, evening prayer, what a peace was reigning there, Ganga flowing, Sri Ramakrishna sitting in meditation, and people all monks moving, and try to remember the scene of that place where you have been. And then you visit again and again. Swami Chetananand said, he went to India and said he was giving a talk in Kolkata and said, I don't know how many days in a month you go to Belur Math, but I go to Belur Math daily from St. Louis. I every day visit Belur Math, Dakshineshwar, all places. How do I visit? Visit in mind. Remembering is visiting there. We immediately are there. That's why chewing the cud, remembering your experience that you had at pilgrimage. Pilgrimage experience is profound and fantastic because we forget the world. Our only purpose in pilgrimage is to reach the deity there, to the temple or the holy place, holy shrine, and that gives us so great satisfaction. Nivedita writes in her book that when she saw people going to Amarnath, she said, people's lifelong cherish this will to visit Amarnath once. Old people, they just want to visit. After that, we live or die, doesn't matter. But I want to visit Amarnath once in life. So when they reach there, they are so happy, peaceful, blissful, that you need to remember always after that. And visiting holy places like the temples and churches, and like Vedanta Society for us, where we get our spiritual awareness, which gives us the strength to overcome our weaknesses, to overcome our things that we need to remove from our life. We often try to feel that, oh, that person is good. That distinguishing between the person on the basis of my own original thought, my own personal idea, oh, this person is good and that person is bad. That is very much my own personal idea, wrong idea. All are equally good. If they were not good, why all they come to Sri Ramakrishna? Why all they come to Vedanta Society? Whoever comes to Vedanta Society are as good as myself, if not better than myself. We need to think in that way. Instead of thinking, oh, that person did this person did that. Why would Sri Ramakrishna pull that person to his place? So everyone is good. So when we fail, we try to do much at that. And that is the strength when we try to feel the divinity present in that. And in our spiritual journey, we need to serve people whom we meet, those who are around us. And that is also one part of our spiritual journey. How to serve? Serving doesn't mean that we have to always cook and feed. Serving is kind words. Serving is having a good feeling. Serving is smile. Serving is saying, hello, how are you today? Serving is listening to that person if he or she has to say some story. It all comes under great service, and knowing that, and the internal prayer. May that person be removed from the trouble. May Sri Ramakrishna be helpful. And when you pray with your sincere heart for other person, prayer works. Prayer works first to you who pray, and then it works to the person for whom it is prayed. So always being in connection, connecting with the people, those who are around us, whether in the temple or outside in the neighborhood or outside we meet. When we say, in the morning walk saying, good morning. If we are sincere and say from heart, it means it is a prayer. I wish your morning to be good. O Lord, make his or her morning good. If we have that much sincerity, it is a prayer and it is a service to the person whom I have met. Maybe known, maybe unknown, doesn't matter. But when we work and serve like that, gradually our heart becomes pure and pure, and ultimately there is definitely light shining there. There is no doubt. When our journey is going towards towards reaching the goal, where we find illumination, suddenly one day God will appear before us, and Sri Ramakrishna says He will talk to us, we will be aware, and then when God appears before us, then one day we will not be satisfied. Then we will try to pray to God. God, I don't want to see you only when I am in the temple or in my room in the shrine. I want to see you in every heart. I want to see you in every being, and I want to see you in every place. That I want. I don't want to be ever separated from you for a moment. I want to be with you. Why? Because that is the ultimate bliss. That is the search that we have been in for from life to life. From whole life we have been searching for that particular state of our mind. At the end, I would like to read from Swami Kripamayananda and conclude beautiful story. His writing, you see. We are ordinary souls. Ramakrishna Loka is far away from us. Ramakrishna Loka is not that we go only after death. Ramakrishna Loka is the kingdom of God that is in our heart. Okay? It is far means we are not reaching there, that's why far, but it's closer than the closest. That is the thing. Like the Muhammad said, God is closer to you than your own vein in your neck, jugular vein. That is, God is very much your own self. But when we don't reach, even your closest thing is so far away. Ramakrishna Loka is far away from us. We have become mesmerized by watching the play of the world and have strayed away. Consequently, we have to continuously struggle, experience the pleasure and pain of success and failure hundreds of times, and continue to go forward. As long as I must return here, then no matter how much time it takes or how much labor is required, I shall continue along the path and shall not give up even if I die. I will attempt to realize the truth, to have the illumination, to have the supreme devotion to God, like Buddha did when he sat for final meditation. Let this body die, let this bone be crumbled, let this muscle be destroyed, but I will not rise from this seat unless I reach, until I have that illumination which is difficult to get even for millions of birds. Ihasane sushyatu me shariram tvagasti mangsam pralayan chayati nevasana kayamata charishyate. I will not get up without realizing that truth. We must take such a resolute vow and continue onward. When the ancient sages said, the path is sharp as the edge of a razor and hard to tread, there weren't any roads or cars in this world. So they said roads are very tough, like the edge of a razor. There were no roads. But now the whole world is covered by national highways. Swami Kripamayananda continues. Electric railways, aeroplanes, and many other conveniences have sprung up. With the help of Ramakrishna Road, Vivekananda plane, and Sarada rocket, now everyone can effortlessly reach the sky of pure consciousness. We have tremendous help, support, guidance. Just we need to walk on, march on, go forward.